Hello, this is part 1 of series of tutorials about how to make this parametric facade with the Revit and Dynamo. If you haven't seen the original video, it's linked in the description of this video. In this tutorial we will look at how to make the base of this whole facade. So let's start. At first we need mass, so let's create in-place mass. Let's name this in-place mass. And next I'll show the difference between creating surface from lines and surface from splines. Let's create the base profile like 20 meters in X direction and let's say 5 meters in Y direction. Next we will fillet the corner with the radius of let's say 2 meters. So for the next part let's switch to 3D view and then create a form from this profile. And here you can see that we have 3 surfaces: the corner filleted profile surface, the Y direction surface, and the X direction surface. So when we divide those surfaces, each surface gets its own pattern, and that doesn't work for us because we want a continuous pattern throughout the whole surface. So as you see, if I apply rhomboid pattern to the surface, we have 3 different patterns and it's impossible to merge them. So how do we deal with this? We need to create a surface from single spline. Let's explode this. Let's delete those points. And let's leave the baseline as a profile for the spline. We have to divide this line in order to draw a spline over this line. And the most important part is this arc in the corner. So what I'm looking at is how many points are in this arc. We need enough points in this arc so we can draw a spline through these points, and it's as close as possible to the shape of the arc. So let's draw a spline through these points. We'll start at the beginning, and in the beginning it's straight, then we go through this arc. Next we go further, but it's not necessary to click through all of those points in the straight line. You just have to look at where the spline becomes totally straight. So let's finish the spline, and let's delete the base lines with the divided points. So this is our spline that we're working with. And when you create a form, you can see that it's homogeneous surface. And when we divide this surface, we get a continuous pattern throughout the surface. So we can apply a rhomboid pattern and it's continuous throughout the surface. So we can control it much easier. So let's say we divide vertical grid, let's say 30 times. And now we have base surface. Let's see this arc in the corner. Maybe change the vertical grid to 40. Yeah, it's much better now. Okay, so what do we need to do next? Next we need to create a family that's going to be applied to this pattern. So we need to create curtain panel pattern based family. So let's create new family. In that new family you have to select the base grid. Select the grid, and here you can see all the possible patterns that you can choose from. So if you're using rhomboid pattern, we have to choose rhomboid pattern as the base grid. So now let's select those reference lines and create a form. And we have to choose not the mass, we have to choose the surface. So create the surface and let's save this family. And let's name this curtain panel rhomboid. Let's save this and load this into the project. Now when you select this divided surface, you can see that we have a curtain panel rhomboid family loaded. And when you select that, it applies this family to the divided surface. And here you can see that all the surface now is divided with those curtain panel pattern based families that are going to be needed later for Dynamo. So thank you for watching, have a great day, and see you in the next video.